First of all, my hat's off to Troy. I think they're a well-coached football team, and they came in today and were very aggressive, and they've got some excellent ability and players. So, we feel very fortunate to have gotten away with a victory against them. Don't let their record fool you. They're a really good, well-coached football team, and we're just happy to get the victory. We didn't finish it the right way. We had some things we need to fix on just finishing the game, but hey, our kids have battled, and they've battled back all year. They've believed, they've stuck together, and they've put themselves in a position to play for a bowl game. And in our sixth year and our third year and the sixth year of the program's history, I couldn't be happier for our alumni, our fans, our administration, and our student body, and most importantly, our players. I mean, for them to dedicate themselves and go through some of the stuff that they've gone through and stick together and finally find a way to keep battling back and put themselves in a position to play for a bowl. It says a lot about them and the character that our young men have. And I'm just excited and very, 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 very proud to be associated with them and be their coach. Open up to questions.
Just talk about playing defense, facing myriad formations, a lot of different looks that Troy tried to play out and maintain the discipline to kind of shut them down.
I thought our defense played outstanding. We gave up. There was a couple plays that we gave up for. They had the one big play. Number 7's a really good player. They do a good job getting him the ball, putting him in positions. I thought he made a really good play on the on that long. I think it was like 54-yard pass that they had. And then they came back and they got another one late. But for the most part, our defense was outstanding. Again, that was an offense that I think their last 3 games have been in the 40s. They've been lighting it up offensively. And I thought our defense did a great job. They were in some really good situations, and they played inspired football.
Can you talk about, please, or just the contribution Keith Rucker made, particularly in the first half? Kind of took over the whole field there for the offense.
Oh, I just now noticed that. Wow. 10 catches for 154 yards for a tight end. That's outstanding. Keith does so much. I hope he's okay. I know he dinged his shoulder. I hope he'll be okay and be ready to go next week. I've got to get in and see the training room report. But, he brings such an added dimension to us. I really believe he's the best tight end in the conference. I really believe we have the best 2 tight ends in the conference. Unfortunately, Joel Ruiz isn't able to play this year. But I think, since Joel is out, Keith is the best. And, he shows it. He blocks. He's on special teams. He can get vertical. He can isolate a linebacker or a safety on him, and he can stretch the field against him. He's very athletic, and I think he'll be an NFL prospect. So very excited about Keith and the way he's developed and matured. He started since day one. So he's one of those guys that is one of those 18 true freshmen that started 2 years ago, and now you're starting to see the development, the natural maturation process. Big word, Doug. I'm blowing your mind right now. You haven't been here in so long. You don't even know where you're at.
I'm trying to figure out when it became a football school. Glenn Smith, Taz and DeMarcus had some fumbling issues early in the turn to Glenn, and he seemed to kind of short the running game.
Glenn Smith is an outstanding person. He is an outstanding athlete that could play wide receiver, running back, cornerback, safety, and arguably quarterback. But he has chosen to be a running back, and he's a tough guy that has explosiveness. He can change direction, and he can lower his pad level and run through you. So we're very excited for Glenn, and it couldn't happen to a better person. The only thing I'm trying to do with Glenn is get him to quit talking so much. He gets too loud in the meetings and around the facility. Like right now, I can't shut him up back there. But we tease him about that. Glenn will live to be 120. His blood pressure never gets too high, and that's kind of what you need back there. He's got that cold water running through his veins.
Now you got to have one more win.
Of course.
Against a rival and a pretty good team.
That team down south. Mm-hmm. Yeah, wouldn't want it any other way. I mean, we got to go through them, and so be it. Our young men will give everything they have to be prepared. They know how to get it done. They know how to win now. And that's not a question here anymore. This program there's no more talk about that. This program has turned the corner. It's where it needs to be. And it's all because of those young men that are in that locker room and sitting back there, and they're ones out there playing, because of the way that they prepare, the way that they see themselves, the confidence they have, and the trust and belief that they have in each other and everybody in the program. So, those type of things talking about Georgia State are over. Now this should be a yearly deal, putting ourselves in position to battle for a bowl game.
Senior day, what does it say to some of these seniors who have been here for 4 years to see the rise of this program, and how much have they really contributed, like seniors like Joseph Peters?
Well, as far as how much they've contributed is everything. Everything, what people don't see. The putting up with people putting them down when they were losing and walking around campus, or a professor making fun of them, which has happened, or student body. Or now, we need everybody to get everybody behind us and understand that we can give you a good program here. And we've got great young men that represent this university the right way, off the field as well as on the field. They give it everything they have. They've got an outstanding team GPA. They don't get in trouble. They do what we ask them to do. And my hat's off to them, because we've started with Coach Curry building it, and we've continued to build this program the right way, with great character young men that are smart, tough, and love the game. And that's what you see. And so I'm thrilled for these seniors, the Joe Petersons and the David Hueys and the Melvin Kings and Bruce Dukes and anybody else, Nick Arbuckles and Donovan Hardens, and even, the ones that are injured. So, and I know there's a bunch of them I'm not mentioning, but I'm very excited for them that they're in this situation, and they're putting themselves in a position to not just help themselves, but to move this whole program forward, which helps move our whole athletic department forward and our university forward. Winning is good for everybody. Not just at the athletic department. It's good for everybody, and it's good for Georgia State University. And I'm very proud to be associated with putting our university in that situation. And I'm thrilled for these young men.
Let me ask you about Chandon Sullivan for a second. Had 2 big pass breakups there in the first quarter, possibly saved 1 touchdown, and then saved maybe, on the 3-yard line there. What does he bring to the secondary that just allows this team to trust him so much?
I'm going to throw out a cool word, swag. Is that okay, Nick? That's okay? Okay. Chandon Sullivan is another one of those guys I'm talking about. I mean, he's excellent student, excellent person, and I call him a mistake. He's a recruiting mistake, because he could be playing in the SEC or the ACC or anywhere in the nation. I mean, he is the long physical corner that's just learning how to play the game. This is his first year where he's only his second year of college. He didn't redshirt last year, and more than half the season he played safety. So he's just now getting into playing the corner position and learning it every day and getting better and better. And his ceiling is off the charts. Yes, sir.
How long are you going to enjoy this win before moving on to game plan for next week?
Probably until, who's on tonight? Whenever the games are over tonight, and I start going in tomorrow looking at Georgia Southern film. But tonight I get to be with my family and watch football and enjoy ourselves and my kids, and get ready to go to work tomorrow and start on Georgia Southern. Yes, sir.
Leading up to the Ball State game, I asked you on the teleconference about what you were going to say to the team heading into that game, and you told me you were going to tell them to relax and have fun. Do you think earlier in the season that they were playing a little tight and they tried to focus too much on what happened, not repeating what happened last year? And what was that turning point? Was it just relaxing and having fun, or what was that turning point that you said?
Well, I think the turning point was finally understanding how to win. That's when we turned the corner. I mean, we've got the talent. They've got the scheme. It was just getting to the point where we knew how to finally win a game. It's very difficult to win games at the Division I level. Well, them dudes on the other side are on scholarship too. And their coaches are good coaches. I mean, there's no bad coaches out there. Everybody wants to make it sound like there is, but they're not bad coaches. Those are really good football coaches, and it's all through our conference. So it was just got to the point where we just had to learn how to win. And they did it by the way they prepare. One play at a time, one day at a time, one week at a time. And, they've got it figured out now. And the sky's the limit for these guys, and as long as they continue to do what they're doing and work the right way and do the things that make us Georgia State University. Yes, sir.
I have to ask, since we talked about it last week. Went with white jerseys today. Was there a general decision on that, or just how it worked out?
I do what my seniors tell me to do. So I just do what they tell me, and I'm happy that they like the white jerseys, and it has winning and losing has nothing to do with the colored jersey that you're wearing, the logo or what good luck socks you wear. It had nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with those young men preparing every day and executing. If people want to have fun with it, that's great. We don't care. But it has everything to do with those guys in those jerseys, the way they prepare and the way they perform at game time. And they're a special group. They're a special bunch of guys. And I'm very excited to be around them, and couldn't be happier for them, and I'll be really happy when we finish it the right way.
It was a zone play, and I just seen the hole and I hit it. Trust my linemen, they great blocks, and just hit it.
And you've bounced around a little bit, quarterback, wide receiver, running back. Talk about the decision to stick with running back and why you're going to be successful.
Well, I've been playing running back all my life, and I kind of started playing quarterback when I was in high school, so that was a kind of new thing to me. But running back is something I've been doing all my life, so it came natural.
Is that what you prefer to play compared to wide receiver, for example?
Well, it's kind of a thing. I just like to play football.
What was Troy doing out there defensively that allowed you to take advantage of it the way you did?
Well, they'll over pursue, so a lot of cutback lanes. So
And just winning 3 consecutive wins hasn't happened here since 2010. Just what are the feeling around the team? If it's different than, for example, after the Liberty.
it's a big difference. It's a lot of energy in the locker room. Everybody having fun. Just joy to be around.
Any thoughts on Georgia Southern going for a bowl eligibility?
Just one team in front of us to stop us from our goal.
Should have already reached this point. Talk about next week and what it means.
It means the world to everybody in this facility, and to me personally, it just means the chance to have another game with these guys and have another couple weeks of practice with the players and the coaches, and that means the world to me and to everybody else. It means more than a bowl game, because when your senior year is winding down, you start to reminisce on all the times you had with everybody, and so every opportunity you can get to extend that is really important.
Seems like you just saw a record big performance in that tight end position. Was their defense just taking away the perimeter and allowing those throws to go up the middle for you?
Kind of. There were some really good plays that Keith made in one-on-one matchups where he was able to get open and create a little bit of separation with either his adjustment to the football or his route. They singled him up a lot, focused their safeties on our outside receivers. And with how many good receivers we have all over the field, from Keith and Penny and Donovan and Robert and Todd, you can't double cover everybody. So it makes my job really easy just to find the guy that's singled up, and we usually win that matchup most of the time.
And talk about, please, Glenn's move to running back and what's going to be on it.
It's incredible. He's a really good runner. He's a natural runner, and he brings a really good balance as a running back, because he can run inside and outside. He has speed. He has a looseness, but he can also put his shoulders down and pick up the tough yardage. And he's really learning how to pick up blitzes and be a pass protector. And with his ability to catch the ball to the backfield, being able to have him in on third downs to be able to both block and be able to run routes is really important. So his maturity as a running back is just starting to take place, and the sky's the limit for him with the whole offseason ahead.
And just thoughts on last game here?
To me, it was just another football game, and I'm really glad we won it. I've never looked big into any kind of senior day or homecoming or anything like that. It's just another football game on a football field that's 100 yards long and 53 and a third yard wide. So, we'll have another one next week, and if everything goes to schedule, we can keep it going. I have no idea, and I've never really paid much attention to it or paid much thought to it. I couldn't even tell you my statistics for the season or for my career or any of my records or anything like that. I'll tell you what, the first thing I did, and I ran to Allison to get this stat sheet, and the first number I looked at was what Keith did. And that's all I cared about, because that's all I wanted to see, because I knew he had a big game. And then when I saw his stats, I went jumping and running around the locker room, yelling for Keith, trying to find him so I could tell him what he had accomplished. And I didn't even know my stats until I came in here. That was one of the last things I looked at. For me, it's all about what they do, and my job is just to help them and help put them in positions to succeed with my throws and with whatever calls I make. So it's just an incredible feeling to see my guys perform like that. And they're all my friends, they're my brothers, and so for them to accomplish something like that, it's really an incredible feeling for me.
Coach said that y'all need to finish a little bit better. What happened in the third quarter, fourth quarter that prevented y'all?
We stopped executing on third down like we had been, and that's something we're going to continue to work on. We still finished 10 of 18 on third downs, and which is over 50%. That's an incredible rate on a defense that came in here, I think, is the second most efficient defense on third downs in our conference. And that's just all to our coaches. Our coaches have a great plan every week for third downs and really get us ready to prepare and execute those things. Because I think we went maybe 3 third downs in a row, or 3 out of 4 in that fourth quarter that we didn't convert. That means in the first 3 quarters, we were converting probably over 75% or close to it on third downs. And when you do that, it kind of demoralizes the defense. It keeps our defense off the field so they can come on and play well. And it keeps our offense on the field. And when we do that, we can score points.
You have the chance to do both next week. Which would you want, beating Southern or becoming more?
Beating Southern has to come first. So definitely that. And my first goal ahead of me is just to be able to watch film on them a little bit tonight and tomorrow, and just starting to figure out their defense, see if they're doing the same stuff as last year or if they're starting to change things up, and just prepare for everything, prepare for the things that they show and prepare for the things they haven't. And hopefully we'll be ready, and we'll have a great game plan, and we'll have a great week of preparation to lead us up to that game. And then if the bowl game happens after that, then that happens. But right now, first we have to finish up that.
I say we just take it day by day. We stop trying to look at the big picture and we just start taking things day by day, and it's really been improving us and just making us better.
Why now? Why after that game? What changed? You said something.
I don't know exactly what it is. I'm still trying to put my finger on it, but all I know is these guys are all bought in. Everybody's bought into the program, bought into the schemes and what we do, and it's just starting to show.
What did you see out there that allowed you to game plan in your mind and have the day you did?
I seen all the same stuff I've seen on film all week, just the quick throws and all that stuff. And, I knew I didn't have to get the sack as long as I just put my hands up and affected the throw in some type of way, then I knew we would come away with a victory.
It seemed like this game was a lot of extracurricular. They have you on sportsmanlike penalties, look like there was some extra shoving. How do you keep your team composed and not avoid getting into all that stuff and staying focused on your plan?
You know, just really looking at the big picture of what we're trying to do here. Guys, they get into the little personal battles, but they have to still remember that we still have to be 100% on our techniques and 100% on our focus and all that. So as long as we just, talk to them, get in their minds that they have to focus, then it eliminates those cheap penalties.
First, happy birthday earlier this week, so happy birthday.
Thank you.
Second, last year's game against Georgia Southern wasn't a very good performance for you. 600 something rushing. Why will next week potentially be different?
Just like I told you before, we're just taking things day by day. That's really the formula of what we do. As long as we take it day by day, and then, we don't have to worry about on the results of what everybody else says, the media says. We just focus on us.
What would you say contributed to the evolution of this run defense to hold practically every runner, most of this year under 100 yards?
I would like to say how tight our defensive line is. We all hang out a lot. We all are always at each other's places. So we really built that trust within each other. And we just know if one person's kind of slacking and one person kind of has their head down, we pick up the slack from them and just keep it rolling.
It's good. It'll be ready for next week.
What was causing the middle of the field to be so, or not so, but open enough for you to make a lot of catches?
I overheard Nick kind of saying it, and I mean, we watched it on film all week. We have talented guys on the outside that we try to get the ball to, and safeties tend to try to kind of overcompensate. And a lot of the times I'm left one-on-one with the Mike backer. And if I'm one-on-one with the Mike backer, Nick always just makes the right throw. Or if we add in the play action, then the backers step up, and then I'm by myself in the middle of the field. So I think that because of the big games that Robert Davis and Donovan Harden and Penny Hart have all been having, I feel like this was just kind of my week to squeeze one in. So.
Just physically, how tough is it? Because you hurt your shoulder, you're in and out of the game throughout the contest, yet you're able to still keep your spirit going. But just talk about how tough that is when you get hurt, you're off the field, trying to come back on, and keeping that consistency.
We had, at dinner last night, we had a real heart-to-heart. Just the fact that this might be the last time or the last couple times that we're going to be on the field with some of these seniors. And I just wanted to go out there and give everything I had for them. We've never won on a senior night, and we wanted to change that, and we wanted to change it for this group in particular. So.
What legacy do you think the seniors will leave behind?
What's that? I'm sorry?
What legacy do you think the seniors will leave behind?
When I came on my visit, those guys were only sophomores or freshmen at that. And one thing I think they leave behind is the way to be a leader. Like Joe P. I've never been around a guy who leads as much as Joseph Peterson, and I've never been around a guy who leads as much as Nick Arbuckle. When you have guys, when the coaches go away, when you have guys that grab you and tell you, hey, we're staying and we're watching film, that's leadership, because they know what we need to do in order to get a win. And I don't know why it's all of a sudden working in these past 3 weeks like it has been, but I'm not going to argue with it. So we're just going to keep doing that and see what happens.
Just next week's game, thoughts on the impact it could have?
Impact as far as what?
Going to a bowl, raising the profile of the university.
Oh.
Including.
A lot of people think about last year, but this isn't the same team we had last year, and we think that we are fully capable of, winning this game just like we won these past 3, and we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that happens and definitely try to get into a bowl game.
So Nick said earlier that the first thing he did was run against stat sheets so he could look at your stats, and then he was trying to find you. How do you calm down your quarterback when he gets excited about your stats like that?
Well, this is kind of the first time it happened this season, so it caught me a little off guard. I just heard my name, Keith, 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 and then I turn around and see Nick jumping up and down, and he's like, "Can you believe what your stats are?" I said, "Dude, all I know is we got the win. I haven't even looked at the stat sheet." And then he circled the numbers and he threw it in my face and was like, "That's how you do it." So, I mean, I didn't really try to calm him down. I kind of celebrated with him. But it's just awesome that we were able to go out there and do what we did tonight.